Namaste and very good morning to all our attendees across India and beyond. I hope you are doing well and feeling as excited we are to dive into today's webinar on AI in pharma and medical industry. My name is Pravina Shenoy and I have the privilege of serving as country manager for Opsio India. It's an honor to welcome you all to this important and timely webinar on how AI, artificial intelligence, is reforming the pharmaceutical and medical industries. We are all aware how the healthcare landscape in India is evolving rapidly, whether it is through a government initiatives like Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, the growing health tech ecosystem, or a post-pandemic push towards the smarter healthcare infrastructure. AI is become a crucial enabler in solving some of the biggest challenges, right? So, when it comes to Opsio, our mission is to bridge this gap between the cutting edge cloud technologies and the real world healthcare needs. We work closely with the organization, helping them leverage AI to create a scalable, secure, and intelligent system that truly make a difference. To walk us through these real world use cases and showcasing how AI solutions can truly elevate your industry, I'm absolutely delighted to introduce someone who brings a powerful mix of strategic vision and hands-on operational expertise. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Debolina Guha, Consultant Manager at Opsio. Debolina will be taking a spin through the webinar, guiding us through a thoughtful provoking presentation and practical examples that demonstrated how AI is already making a difference in Indian pharmaceutical and medical device sector. So, whether you are a healthcare professional or a pharmaceutical a researcher, policymaker, or simply someone curious about to know the future of intelligent manufacturing, this session is designed to inspire talent and ignite the new ideas. So, without further ado, let's get into the agenda first. The agenda that began with a simple contextualization of who we are, what we do, what we stand for when it comes to innovation and utilizing the AIML as a technologies to drive a progress and efficiencies. We will then, without a delay, move straight into the today's topic and talk about what AI visual inspection is and how it works and how the solution compared to other approaches and also how it can be applied significantly in your industries and what would be the delivery and what would be the cost. So all this agenda will be discussed each one, and finally we conclude with an opportunities to walk hand in hand with us through a proof of concept, a POC. But I will get it there in end. But just to keep you, orderly, let's begin to brief a snapshot about who we are. Yes, at Opsio, we like to say we are not just a tech provider; we are a sustainable innovation partner. So it means our job is to bring a cutting-edge technologies like AI, cloud automation into your ecosystems and take an operation load off your shoulders so that you can focus on your core business goals. We manage your IT operation end to end from strategy to execution, ensuring everything runs smoothly and deliver a real measurable result. We operate from two strategic locations today. Our headquarters is in Karlstad, Sweden, and our regional tech hub is in Bangalore, India. Both locations have similar headcounts and capabilities too, and tech infrastructure, which means we are serve a client across the globe seamlessly. Under the Make in India initiative, we also run a global project out of Bangalore, delivering the world-class quality while staying true to our value of efficiency and innovation. We take a pride of our team, over 100 plus industrial certification we have in-house, and we are an advanced partnership with AWS, Azure, and GCP. Moreover, whether it is a cloud, hybrid, or on-premises, even in VMware environment, we got the expertise to handle it as well. So today, we have completed more than 3,000 projects worldwide and we are proud to maintain the 99.5% customer satisfaction rate. And our work is sector agnostic, whether you are in pharma, finance, manufacturing, so on and so forth. We are likely to help someone in any industries that they are into. So, in short, Opsio, we don't just deliver a tech, we deliver the impact. We are here to help you to grow, innovate, and thrive in today's ever changing world. So, moving to next, now it's the right time for me to hand over the lamp to Debolina, who will be taking us through the journey of AI in your industries to sharing some of the cases and give you the complete insights about the current challenges along with the solutions. Over to you, Debolina. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Pravina. And hi, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us today. Since I have been already introduced by Pravina, we can quickly jump into the topic of discussion. So, what you see on the screen now reflects a broader transformation within the manufacturing industry, often referred to as smart manufacturing. This transformation is driven by a strategic initiative known as Manufacturing 4.0. Manufacturing 4.0 is built on the principle that the industry must move forward through digital transformation and a deliberate, purpose driven embrace of advanced technologies. The term itself emerged in the early 2010s and since evolved into a global standard for next generation manufacturing. Within this larger framework, AI powered visual inspection represents a critical and highly impactful puzzle piece. It embodies the core values of this shift: automation, precision, data driven decision making, and real time responsiveness. But that raises an important question: what's the real value behind this movement? Why are so many organizations pursuing smart manufacturing or aligning themselves with the principles of Manufacturing 4.0? Let's explore that next. Sorry. So, what is the effect? Well, there are, of course, many valuable outcomes we can benefit from as a result of embracing digital transformation. This is a map of five core goals of Manufacturing 4.0. These are defined as increased efficiency, first of all. We rely less on human input and become more exact. Second is higher efficiency. We streamline and thereby accelerate our production process. The third one is lower costs. A direct result is reduced operational costs. Fourth one is data collection. And this point is crucial with the technologies like AI, ML, and IoT. We suddenly have the capability to better utilize our data. I imagine many of you already have several data sources like MES system or ERP systems. There is data available that can be transformed into insights. And with the help of AI and ML, we can finally start leveraging that data to become smarter and more data driven. Then the next point is scalability, the final point. We want to build solutions and systems that are easily scalable, adaptable to various production environments and use cases. This is a foundation, the objective of Manufacturing 4.0 or smart manufacturing. If we now shift from a macro perspective, which is my Manufacturing 4.0 as a whole, and zoom in on today's core topic, which is visual inspection. So let's talk about what AI based visual inspection is. Let's break it down in simple terms. At its core, it's all about combining cameras with machine learning to automate defect detection on production lines. The result? Well, better quality, fewer errors, smarter production. Here are some components involved in the process of visual inspection, and these are input, capturing what matters. It all begins here. Using cameras, lighting, and sensors, we capture high resolution images of each product on the line. But the camera doesn't make decisions, it just collects data. To detect tiny scratches, missing parts, or misaligned levels, we need clear visuals and optimal lighting. This stage sets the foundation for everything that follows. The next is processing, where intelligence kick in. Now the machine learning model takes over. It's trained on your specific products and defect types and uses edge computing for real time analysis. The model identifies misplaced or missing components like loose caps, cracks, contamination, labeling errors. This is the brain of the system, constantly monitoring, learning, and making decisions on the fly. And the next one is result, turning data into action. Once a defect is detected, the system triggers real time alerts, logs the data, and classifies the anomaly. You get actionable insights, fast feedback loops, better quality control, reduced waste, and so on. So each model is custom built for your specific needs, trained on your product, your defect types, and your quality criteria. Once trained, this ML model becomes the brain of the system, driving all the real time decision making. Then, if we look at this slide, we understand how visual inspection works in practical world. Let's walk through a simple visual example, a miniature production line. In this case, the objects moving along the line are PCBs, that's printed circuit boards. These PCBs travel down a conveyor belt or automated system and arrive at the inspection station, where a camera setup is waiting. Now, that camera can be configured in a few ways. It might be fixed overhead directly above the production line. It can be mounted in clusters, offering multiple viewing angles as well. Or, like in this example, it could be installed on a robotic arm, which allows it to capture different sides of an object, ideal for inspecting curved surfaces or complex geometries. And no inspection setup is complete without proper lighting. If we can't see the defect clearly, we can't detect it accurately. So, lighting is a critical part of the system. Here's how the process works. So, let me just take you through this. The first step, in the first step, the product arrives at the inspection station. In the second step, the camera captures an image under optimized lighting. Then, the image is sent in real time to a machine learning model. The model now processes the image looking for defects or irregularities. Results are instantly displayed on a live dashboard for the operator. That dashboard gives a detailed overview and it shows the number of correct measurement points, any errors or deviations, borderline indicators or potential warnings, and even step by step instruction on what action to take. So, in more advanced steps, the system can eventually automatically remove the defective items from the line without any human intervention. And that's really it. From a component standpoint, it's pretty straightforward. So then comes the big question, why go through all this effort? Why not just a place? Why not just a person or a team at the end of the line can check everything visually? And the answer is simple: efficiency, accuracy, and scalability. This system doesn't get tired, doesn't miss things, and can handle increasing volumes effortlessly. That's why it's worth it. Let's talk about how the differences between static visual inspection and AI or automated visual solution works. But first, let's break down the core comparisons. First one is manual visual inspection on the left of this slide, and then we have automated or AI powered visual inspection on the right side. So, manual inspection relies heavily on the human factor, and that brings certain weaknesses, which we are going to talk about now. The first weakness that manual inspection comes with is accuracy is inconsistent. Humans have good days and bad days. Fatigue and destruction, even a poor night's sleep can affect how well we detect defects. Now, AI, in contrast, is consistent every time. Hour by hour, day by day, year after year, AI delivers high precision, unaffected by mood or mental state. AI is also simply more accurate. It identifies flaws that human might miss, even with training and experience. Performance is another area where humans struggle to keep up. No doubt, people who work with quality inspection are skilled and dedicated, but it's not a fair race. AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't need breaks. It can inspect far more products per hour with greater efficiency. Cost is yet another factor. Human led inspections come with higher labor cost and a greater margin for errors, which leads to reprocessing, returns, warranty claims, additional overhead, and many more. All of this erode the bottom line. Scalability, no contest. AI scales faster and more cost effectively. Yes, implementation takes time, but once deployed, it handles volume effortlessly. And when it comes to data usage, humans simply can't analyze or store data in real time like a machine learning model can. AI continuously learns, optimizes, and reports without missing a bit. In summary, AI seems like a clear winner. But here's the most important point: AI is not here to replace humans. It's not about cutting jobs, it's not about amplifying human capabilities. AI is in visual inspection should be seen as a powerful component to human expertise. It helps us work faster, produce more, reduce waste, and reassign people to higher value tasks. So, yes, comparing humans and AI may feel like an unfair race, but what if we compare AI solutions against each other? That's where things get interesting. So now in this slide, you would see different AI models and their comparisons. So it's not exactly new to use different types of intelligence and cameras to do this work for us. Vision solutions have been around for a long time, but historically and still in most cases today, they are based on what's called static image machine. In other words, a pre-packed product that you can buy off the shelf. It might be trained on 5 to 10 images, and from that, vision solution is expected to determine, well, looks like there might be a defect here. But a solution based on static image matching can never do what a solution built with AI and deep learning can. On this slide, we also see on the left side a problem overview of pre-packaged standard vision systems. To keep it simple, there are first and foremost far too limited when it comes to customization. We are talking one size fits all, which really works well when you have industry or business specific problems or issues of greater complexity. They also come with high error rates and lack the precision needed for more complex inspection. In short, poorer average performance, and it's unlikely you can trust it fully. If you want to adapt or teach it new things, it's an incredibly extensive manual process. This also connects to the second to last point, which is no continuous improvement. I have example from a customer in the metal industry. They deal with large steel coils, sometimes several kilometers long. With static vision solution, they had the operator who would get thousands of error points per product. And every time the operator told the system, hey, this isn't a defect, it's a color shift, which is acceptable to us. By pressing accept the error point, the system could not learn from that feedback. It kept highlighting the same type of defect next time. So the operator had to wade through thousands of error points manually. And at that point, the value is kind of lost. Anyway, to finish up the left column, you generally get this solution with very limited support. You take over the solution, you own it, and if something goes wrong, you create support tickets and then wait and wait. If now we shift our focus to the right side to an AI based model, and here I can only speak from our perspective, which is why it says Opsio Vision X, which is the name of our AI visual inspection solution. First and foremost, with such a solution, you get an accuracy of over 99.8% compared up to 85% in static or generic solution. An inspection process that is 40% faster and which adaptively improves over time. A solution that combines deep learning with rule based logic, which of course enables extreme precision. The system automatically adjusts in real time. Things like lighting, focus, zoom, etc. And to the delight of the operator in the steel production, for example, we achieve 70% fewer false positives. In addition, the solution can be plugged in and integrated directly with existing systems because the intelligence lies separately in the ML model. We can optimize hardware choices to meet each unique industry challenge. We can also get up and run faster with helped installation or deployment time. And naturally, the solution is constantly improving. You can also get access to expert support around the clock, which ensures that the solution isn't just as good as it was yesterday when you left the work, but it is actually better when you return the next day. To summarize our comparison just a little, let's get back to the human factor. Speaking of failure rates, that is how often we make mistakes, the human factor has a kind of average margin error of 20 to 30%, which is pretty high. The starting point for AI, on the other hand, is at 5% and down towards 0.01%. And this does not mean that you are stuck at 5%, but you have a possibility that the number will be worked downwards over time. That is, the ML model will get even better over time. And of course, there are some limitations here. For example, hardwares. Different complex applications require different complex equipment. So the choice of equipment is directly decisive for this figure. But regardless of the hardware, our ML model should give us the advantage of being able to push down the error rate over time. No matter how good the starting position is, it should help us to not only be consistent all hours of the day, every day of the year, across all shifts, but it should be better always. And if your production line changes with more articles, several bands, several defect types, well, then the solution should easily be trained for that so that it can grow with the business. This is a clear benefit. Now, let's talk about how actually these solutions help us. Speaking of winnings, here are some simple things that AI driven visual inspection help us with. And the first one from the left we can see at this point is we identify defects in our manufactured products, automated for a higher quality. But we can also monitor processes with the same technology and improve our production flow by identifying bottlenecks in your production. If I now jump to the bottom row from the left, we get a more autonomous solution that saves time and resources. And the last point is, as I would say, the biggest upside insight, analysis, and report. We get to take part of the system's calculations in real time in a format that can be absorbed by us in the visualized dashboard. Again, it is an aid for humans, not a replacement of us. We will look at the same, we will now look at some concrete case studies or use cases from reality to put this into context and to reason about different areas of use in your industry. So now in the slide, you can see two examples. So I'll take you through this. Uh, we see examples from reality of how the solution can be used. And there are again thousands of ways to use a visual inspection here. So this will serve as a selection. First up, we have bottles. For the production of, for example, medicines or different solutions that are available or supplied in bottles, the common issues that can be detected here with the help of the technologies are the bands often go very fast with a high volume of products. So there are quite many possible points of error which can be difficult for humans to pick up. Then a visual inspection solution can be used to count and verify the number of bottles to be packed. It can verify the fulfillment rate of a bottle. So, is the amount of the drug or solution right in the liquid level? To avoid contamination, you may want to verify the seal as well. Is the cork in place or is the adhesive seal or shrink cap intact? If the product is glass, Maybe you want to look for defects in the glass. What happens when you make tablets then? So let's see in the next example. It's another common use case. Here, you might want to inspect for color shifts. In our tablet chart, are there color deviations or do all tablets keep an even and quality color? A traditional use case of a simpler kind where a very simple camera setup is enough. On the right side, we have a very complex case. Here is an X ray camera that inspects the final assembly of a supply unit. If you imagine an adrenaline injector, for example, where you ensure that everything fits right and that the spring has the right conditions to trigger the needle and that the needle is in the right place. So, these things are very crucial for success, which can be detected by AI solutions. As next example, we have the uh, infrared camera. Here we can see on the left side there is an infrared camera that is being used, which is also a type of hardware choice to solve the task. So typically we use it to find external contamination like particles or objects. And in the picture to the right we see a pretty typical flow, and here it goes fast. Then here you need to have cameras that are able to take pictures of a product despite the speed, so that you don't have to slow down the production. If we look at the left picture, we see here two cameras, and it often has a very simple explanation. One wants to give the ML model images from multiple directions to capture all the essential aspects of the product. You can also have a robotic arm that navigates around the product with a single camera, but I guess it's the speed of the band here that set the requirement for there to be one or two cameras. Now, if we look into the next example, here we see a production line with surgical equipment on the left side. Here, visual inspection helps us to measure and ensure everything from color shifts, scratches, surface defects. And now these are stainless steel. So there are different types of surface defects that we can capture. So, for example, is the blade sitting properly? Is it sharp enough? Is there damage in the blade or the edge? Then on the right side, we have surgical implants or hip replacement. There you can look for the same defects, but probably this has additional factors like dimensions related to size, thickness, or diameter, and so on. But the solution is the same. It has only been trained on other ground or different ground. It can also be the case that you have a single belt where several different products pass. Then you can teach the ML model to understand, aha, now that this article or product type has come in, these are the defects I should be looking for. So it also supports a wider range of products on the same production line. Then we have another example, and here the same logic applies to stent straps. These often have complex shapes that are challenging to analyze manually, making this a perfect use case where the human factor alone falls short. On the right side, we see another component of a pacemaker. Here, a camera is mounted above the strap to detect contaminants such as dust as well as surface defects. Now we are at the second last example of practical application, and here we see the medical packaging and assembly related examples. So even if you set the product aside for a moment, the same solution can be applied to the packaging process as well, including packaging seal. This could involve checks such as, are all the markings correct? Is the logo placed accurately? Is the closure properly sealed? Is the glue applied correctly? And so on. At this stage, the goal is to ensure everything looks exactly right before the product leaves, packaged and ready for delivery. It can also be used when delivering different kits or packaging variants, ensuring consistency and quality across all final outputs. Now, this is where we have an extended example of assembly and medical kits. And on the left, we see presence and absence detection. So, visual sensors ensure all items are correctly packed, preventing faulty packages from entering the supply chain. On the right hand side, we have detection of packaged medicines. AI systems verify medical kits of varying complexity, ensuring accurate assembly and labeling. Age learning boosts speed and precision, delivering high quality results at scale. Now we have arrived at the final or conclusion of practical examples or application of visual inspection. So on the left side, we have packaging that never misses related to labels. So when every label matters, accuracy isn't optional. With AI powered vision, we can inspect 10,000 plus packages per hour, verifying every barcode, label, and dosage flawlessly and fast. Zero manual checks, zero compliance risks. On the other hand, or on the right side, we have devices that perform every time. That is related to transdermal patches that needs to be perfect to work properly. AI catches invisible flaws like air bubbles or uneven layers, ensuring every patch delivers consistent care. 99.3% detection accuracy is gotten by this, and 45% fewer rejection rates. So, from factory to patient, it's not just about production, it's about trust, safety, and performance. Now we can see there's a complex map of standard regulation procedure in medical technology on the screen. Um, it might look a bit overwhelming, but it reflects your everyday reality. From UDI requirements and CE marking to EU MDR and medical products regulation, the pressure to meet strict evolving compliance standards is consistent. But here's the advantage. With AI visual inspection and data backed quality assurance, proving compliance becomes not just easier, but more reliable and audit ready. You already know, and the drivers for this compliance related checks are protecting patient safety, preventing contamination, ensuring accurate dosages, maintaining product consistency across the batches and sites. This isn't just about ticking regulatory boxes, it's about delivering trust, safety, and excellence in every product. And while I don't need to preach the value of quality to this audience, this is where automated visual inspection truly shines, regardless of what's driving your adoption. Now, to understand what are the prerequisites to build a technology like that. To build an effective vision system, it all starts with selecting the right hardware. From cameras and sensors to lighting, tailored to the production environment and inspection goals. Key considerations include temperature. Is a production line hot? How does that affect camera performance? Then, dust exposure. Will it impact image clarity or require protective enclosures? Then, viewing angles. Can a single camera capture everything, or do we need to have multiple perspectives? Sensor type. What level of detail and speed is required? Lighting conditions. Is standard lighting enough, or do we need advanced options like multispectral or directional lighting? Complexity of defects. Does the model need to stitch images into a 3D view for accurate analysis? All of these discussed parameters directly impact hardware selection and, by extension, the quality of the data we feed into the system. Because let's be very clear, if you put poor input into the pipeline, you will get poor results out. And that's why getting the hardware right is critical to everything that follows. Now we have the next piece of the puzzle, that is processing. Once the right hardware is in place, the next step is to process the visual data through a machine learning model designed specifically for your inspection use case. A key decision here is where the model should run: cloud based platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. Uh, this is one choice which provides easy integration with enterprise ecosystem. However, for real-time image processing at scale, these options can be costly and add it can add latency and may raise data sensitivity concerns. Hosted VMware environments is another option. So it offers a middle ground, letting you run the solution in a virtualized setup within your existing data center infrastructure. This allows centralized management while avoiding full reliance on the third party clouds. Then we have the third option, that is on premises deployment. Using a compact industrial grade computer with GPU acceleration remains the most efficient for many use cases. It offers low latency, full control, and avoid recurring cloud costs without the need for large server racks. In short, whether you choose cloud, hosted VMware, or on prem, the global or the goal or the ultimate goal is same, that is to achieve fast, reliable, and scalable AI processing tailored solution to seamlessly align with your operational need. With processing sorted, let's now move on to the final piece, which will be the output. And now we have the output. Yes, we get it in the dashboard. So after the data is processed through the ML model, we get it in the dashboard. The beauty of it lies in the in its simplicity. So there are no special prerequisites required here. As long as you have a screen, you can view your dashboard in real time. What you see here is a snapshot from our visual inspection system with marked and mixed data. It displays individual inspection results, trends over time, most common defect types, logs, reports, and much more. Beyond the basic, the real power lies in integration. If you are already using MES or ERP or any data heavy systems, then you already hold some amount of data. This dashboard can pull from all of them, combining everything into an unified view. This is the first step toward building a digital twin, a real time virtual replica of your production environment. That's a broader discussion for another day, but the capability is already built in. So let's bring it home. Let's close the loop and summarize everything that we have discussed so far before we look at what a solution like this might actually cost. So, what can you expect from a solution like this? When implemented with the right use case, hardware, and intent, a visual inspection system can deliver significant value across multiple areas, like faster delivery, more high quality products reaching the market faster with less time spent on rework or manual checks, exceptional quality, offering near perfect inspection coverage can elevate your quality assurance and strengthen your value proposition. Then we have operational efficiency. Automation allows human resources to focus on real valuable tasks of the system and improve overall workflow and productivity. Then we have reduced costs. Over time, overall solution pays for itself through reduced waste, fewer cost, fewer errors, and optimized level. Then we have sustainability impact. Improved material use and fewer defects align naturally with sustainable goals. Then we have the last point, enhanced reputation. Consistent product quality boosts customer trust and reinforces your brand's credibility. And of course, the exact benefits will vary. Some businesses will see direct cost savings while others may experience indirect gains such as increased efficiency or freed up time. So, what does it cost? Let's the investment required to unlock. What's the investment required to unlock this kind of results? Let's explore that next. So here we have the cost related to this type of solutions. It includes uh, the basic solution to your specific needs or problems. It excludes, however, highly specialized setups like robotic arms or x-ray systems. A complete visual inspection solution typically starts at 9,000 INR per month. This price covers the entire package from hardware implementation and installation, machine learning model development and ongoing training, and also 24/7 support and system maintenance. All delivered as a fully managed service. So you don't need to worry about complexity or coordination. And the best part here is that the path to implementation is simpler than you might expect. Let's take a look. Let's see or understand how the journey starts. A successful visual inspection journey begins with a feasibility study focused on quick wins, not big risks. The goal is to start small, prove value, and scale with confidence. So, in phase one, we do a feasibility study. We identify a clear problem or high impact area, such as a product or defect type or a specific line. For example, it assesses cost savings, quality improvement, or defect reduction to set measurable targets. Then, in phase two, we come up with proof of concept, implementing the solution in a controlled real world test, limited to the scope defined in phase one. This step validates the system and ensure that it performs as expected and delivers on projected values. Then in phase three, we scale and operate. Once proven, the solution can be expanded to more lines or facilities, additional products or defect types, integrate with existing systems like MES or ERP, and on all ongoing operational responsibilities, we ensure the continuous performance and value delivery. So there's a common thread throughout all this discussion related to practical matters, how the solution works, and what we need to do to implement it. And that is start focused, prove results, and scale smart. So, in the next slide, we would conclude everything that we have discussed and we would look into this very important statement or sentence. So, start small, think big. The right approach is simple. Start with a specific problem, a product, a defect, a clear pain point, and solve it. This creates quick wins with high impact and immediate value. You don't need to launch a massive initiative just for the sake of scale. You don't need to cover every line or product from day one. You don't need to do a multi year transformation plan to get started. Instead, focus on one high return area, prove it works, build momentum. From there, scaling becomes easy. You already have a foundation, results to show, and a clear direction. That's the smart way forward. Pragmatic, focused, and built for long term success. Ready to see why this matters so much? Let's take a look. Now we have a metaphor which is called pneumonia. So let's understand why starting small and thinking big matters. Because the wrong way to approach innovation is through what is known as pneumonia, the obsession with new things simply because they are new. It's like buying the latest jeans just because they are the latest one in the market, not because they fit or serve your needs. When it comes to complex technologies like AI and machine learning, chasing trends without proper vision in mind rarely ends well. The smarter approach, hence, would be to avoid this by starting with the problem, not the tech, by focusing on real life or real time needs and clear outcomes. we create solution with actual impact. We start small and we think big, and that's how we move forward with purpose, value, and momentum. Now, that's everything I wanted to cover for the day regarding this topic. Now, I will pass the mic to Pravina. He will take us through the concept of proof of concept and how it works forward.
Thank you, Debolina, for the insightful sessions, taking us through the real world use cases and showcasing the powerful AI capabilities in visual inspection and other solutions. So it's clear that what we are looking at isn't just a trend, but it's a game changer for the pharmaceuticals and medical industries. The example that you have here were not only a practical but also a thought provoking, and they spark curiosity and likely answered some of the questions many of already has. So now, as the next step, we are currently looking for the companies in pharma and medical industries who are interested in exploring the POC, a proof of concept with us. So, if you are found today's discussion is relevant and are curious to explore how these solutions can apply to your operations, do not hesitate to reach out. We would love to explore the potential use cases with you and define the clear, actionable next steps. We are sharing a quick feedback form, so which take a less than a minute to fill. This will help us to know your challenges and get connected to solve them using the AI/ML technologies. So, however, this whole presentation along with the recording will be sent across to you shortly. This, including my contact details on the slide that we have. So feel free to connect if you have any questions or idea or wanted to take the conversation forward. And with that note, we are come to the end of these sessions. And my heartfelt thank you for each and everyone for joining us today. And we have truly appreciated your time, your curiosity, and your thoughtful attention throughout the sessions on AI visual inspections in pharmaceutical industries. We hope this session is spark inspiration and new prospects on how AI can transform a quality and efficiency in your industries. So stay curious, stay innovative, and mostly important is stay in touch. So we will be having our upcoming webinars and we will intimate to you through our LinkedIn channel. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.